Servants of the corpse god claims the objective. The servants of the corpse god claims the objective. Imperial Nazis assault our territory. The servants of the corpse god claims the objective.
All right, well, that was fun. Let's see how well I did. Oh. If anyone can resonate with the experience of being bottom in a lobby after doing your best, trust me, I see you. Would you believe I used to go to game tournaments and get put on regional power rankings? Seeing how I play games nowadays, I wouldn't believe that either, even though it is true. You see, as I'm approaching my 30s, I'm squarely set in the casual gamer category. Sure, I'm not always bottom on team. I have my good moments, but this is starting to become a reality. As I've been working through the frustrations of relearning how to do things, I've found my goals changing. Instead of simply being the best or awe-striking everyone, which I've found is becoming increasingly unrealistic anyway, I've found myself wanting to have more fun and enabling others to have fun. As I've been seeing posts and conversations like this pop up more and more, I thought I'd share some of my experience grappling with having less time and more responsibilities, but still wanting to have fun and do well. My stated goal for these is pretty simple: how to have fun and also help others have fun. The thoughts I have are mostly centered around multiplayer PvP games or PvE ones that are either meta-centric or have a more sweaty community, mixed in with just some of my good old personal experience. Your mileage is probably going to vary, depending on your own situation, kind of gamer you are, how much time you have, how much time you don't have, and whether or not you just think I'm a big fat idiot. But all that together, we go forward. So give good old Torn from Oblivion, where you come for the cats and stay for the facts, a few minutes of your time, and maybe you'll find something useful here, or at least something you can relate to. Number 1. Don't get frustrated chasing meta. A mistake so many players make is deciding that the reason they're not doing well or having fun must 100% be because they're not using the current meta. This can be the case in some games at the very top level, or some uber competitive games where only one comp is remotely viable. After all, you can't bring a meme build into a high-level money tournament and expect to do well. But for the majority of play you'll be involved in, you're much better off using what you enjoy and what you're comfortable with. Typically, the meta builds and weapons have a high skill ceiling or are otherwise hard to use effectively, unless it's Smash 4 Bayonetta, which has stolen multiple tournaments from me. Anyway, I continue. This means that the people with the most time and or money for developing that kit will most likely outperform those that are using the same kit with less time and or less money. This leads people with less time to start falling behind whenever they're using the meta and they're just using cookie cutter builds because it's unsustainable. Even if you're playing ranked or low level tournaments, chasing meta will only put you at a disadvantage to players who have more time or money to put into the game. Furthermore, it will make you more predictable to players who have the same amount of time or money as you. Everyone knows how to deal with the meta. That's why it's the meta, because so many people use it. You'll become predictable and easier to beat, and that leads to frustration. And a frustrated player is neither having fun nor fun to play with. You're far better off sticking to what you know, which leads us to our next point. Number 2. Focus on improving one area at a time.
I feel thin, sort of stretched, like butter scraped over too much bread. I need a holiday.
We can all relate to feeling a little like Bilbo from Lord of the Rings. Too much grind and not enough time. With balance patches and DLC constantly shifting everyone's focus, we feel like there's never enough time. This, however, is a tactic used by companies and streamers. The revolving door of interest leads people to spending more time and more money than they intend, and hence things like, greatest new build, click here, view now, buy this, should be viewed with extreme skepticism. We have a niche as gamers and as people who have been playing whatever game that we enjoy, but we really don't know if we should stick to it because we see these flashy new things coming across our screen in the stores or on YouTube thumbnails. The first question you should ask when this kind of thing comes up is, would you enjoy that? We're playing games to have fun and help others have fun. If your build or style is fun for you and it's not dragging down the team, please don't be that guy. Why change for something that you might not enjoy? And something you may not have considered, other people might enjoy your niche as it stands right now. I remember back when I was playing Pokemon Unite when it first came out, and my main was Mr. Mime. The people that I played with loved seeing me block with walls and do other shenaniganery that nobody expected. I made it to Masters with a pretty high elo by having fun with friends and a character that I felt fit how I played. Turns out, the meta hogs had trouble because they weren't used to somebody baiting and taking their time. When all that you ever fight is the meta and all you ever fight is the 3 picks for jungle carries, then you're not used to somebody memeing with a mime that actually has decent DPS and blocking potential. There's different kinds of examples for different kind of games, such as games like World of Tanks, where you have a large tech tree that goes across multiple disciplines. If you want to enjoy your time, don't go down 5 or 10 different tech trees at once. Pick 1 or 2 that you enjoy and stick with those. Everyone, including yourself, will thank you. You'll be able to go further down the list more quickly, and you'll get more proficient with each one of those instead of just being okay with several. If you enjoy playing quickscope weapons in a first-person shooter, then play quickscope weapons and focus on training your snap aim. Don't switch to submachine guns because of peer pressure or you saw it a YouTube thumbnail if you're already benefiting the team. What's meta now may be unmeta next patch, and if you hated learning it, you hated using it, and you were just using it because it was, quote, making you better, you're going to hate yourself more whenever it's bad again and it's all you know how to use. Use your precious time to develop a kit you enjoy. Number 3. Be fun and helpful to play with.
Oh gee, put walls. You're trash.
You're calling me trash?
Give me a Devo.
Why don't you use your microphone, pal? I don't have a devotion, I've got Volt.
People usually will tolerate a salty or otherwise socially inept player if they're stomping the other team or they're necessary for reaching an objective. That doesn't justify the behavior, of course, but I find myself and others far more willing to deal with a cantankerous individual if they're really good. And the reality also is that that rule of thumb does not apply to us more casual players. If we want to have fun and help those around us have fun, we need to be fun to play with. This doesn't mean that you have to be particularly funny or witty either. For me, if I'm having a bad day, I start playing support. So, for instance, in Battlefield 2042, if I'm struggling to deal damage, I'll play medic or recon and facilitate those around me to have a better time and get the damage that I'm not able to. In Apex, when I used to play that, I would play Lifeline or Mirage when I was struggling because at least the team could get some extra heals or laughs along the way. And this should go without saying, but if you're running middle of the pack, don't badger your teammates on what they may be doing wrong. We've all played with a backseat driver who doesn't contribute to the effort, but has something to say about everyone else's contribution. Please, do not be that guy. Be supportive to those around you. Call out whenever they've done something well. People love to be recognized. Call out targets or areas of interest that the more seasoned or effective players are able to go take on themselves, and give them a thumbs up whenever they accomplish what you are pointing out. And please, I implore you, say thank you. Number 4. Don't compare yourself to the pros or streamers.
Coming to bed, honey?
Yes, dear.
This is the hardest one for me by far. Although controversial, I have to say I agree with one of Jordan Peterson's rules for life. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Everyone has a different situation, skill set, time limitations, and goals. There's no conceivable way you can directly compare yourself with anyone else in a way that is 100% fair to either of you. Now, I will make a caveat here. If your goal is to hit Master Rank or drop the fastest Raging Bracadillo speedrun, you're going to need to compare yourself to the very best all the time, no matter how unfair that might be. But if your goal is to just have fun and help others have fun, then that comparison is grossly unnecessary and downright unhelpful. I'll share another personal example that I've already made a video about. I play Satisfactory. I love it. My day job is programming, so the way Satisfactory works, it feels like a gamified version of my IRL career, especially the spitters, which remind me of what dealing with clients is like. When I perused the Reddit, I met with picture after picture of carefully crafted factories that look like they're the masterwork for an engineering student's PhD. I don't have the time or creative capacity to dream those up with any reasonable efficiency. So at that point in time, I started to look at my own factories and felt bad about them. But why was that? It was comparison of two completely unlike things. Where I could put maybe 3 to 5 hours a week in, they may be able to put 20 to 30 hours in and have been putting that time in for a few years now. What have I been doing? Well, making silly little YouTube videos. Other things. Thus, it's unreasonable for me to compare myself to that level of excellence. All I can do is determine if I, myself, am improving at structuring my facilities or if I'm plateauing. If I'm aiding my team in progressing to the milestones, or if I'm just sitting there moping. So, in very quick summary, don't get frustrated chasing the meta. Focus on improving one area at a time. Be fun and helpful to play with, and don't compare yourself to pros or streamers. Disciplining yourself to one thing and being content with where you are and what you have can go a very long way. You're probably better than you think you are, and you're probably more fun than you give yourself credit for. And if you haven't heard it yet, I appreciate you, fellow casual gamer, and I definitely hope you have the best of games and that I see you in my lobbies. And well, those are my thoughts. I appreciate you all for watching, and I hope something I've said resonated with you in one way or another. Again, this is all my personal experience, and mileage may vary. If you found this useful or just want more cat videos for your feed, working on more, see ya!